Hi there, my name is Amy and I work at Yoga Grow. My last video was called No Hands Flow, which was a good way to creatively move your body around without having to get down to the floor. But today, just by some nice feedback, I know that the length of the No Hands Flow video is really appreciated. So I'd like to do something a little more active, a little bit more rounded, maybe even a little bit more lively than that last one, but the same increment of time, so about 15 minutes. We'll use some skilled standing movement to start. So bring your feet under your hips, spread your toes out. Allow your feet to land and then take the preference out of them. Don't lean too much into the toes or the heels. Find your balance, your place between those two feelings, those two energies in the body, front and back. Then you allow everything to move from there. Your knees have a small bend, but there's still an energy that pulls your kneecaps up. There's a continuity that pulls your hip creases up. So think that in your mind, kneecaps followed by hip creases, so there's this very auto front body space. For leg detail, your thighs are generally rolled in. And then you rise up from that nice place. Your palms are rolled out, and that influences your elbows, your shoulders. Pull the tops of your ears up, and breathe in mountain pose. This alone can really help gravity work with you. You'll feel a lot more buoyant just by setting yourself up in this mountain pose. Let's immediately practice even more muscle setting, a way to find the way the muscles are meant to hug the bones. Bring your arms out wide to the sides. Let your palms push the sides of the room away so that your wrist lines are exposed, your fingers are spread. You'll feel that your shoulder blades are together while you are here, but then bring your hands out in front of your chest. Just as you transition, your shoulder blades are going to spread apart. You want that. You want to learn the skill of spreading your blades in certain postures. Find a more basic movement, a retraction. Take your shoulders back into your body. You'll feel that your chest goes a little bit forward, but then to balance yourself, let your shoulders spread out a tiny bit. That'll be tricky. That's using more your middle traps, your lower traps, just allowing that spread to occur. You actively push against the room out ahead of you. So you're doing plank standing up right now. Let the legs feel really fired up and lit up. Squeeze your elbows a whole lot. Then allow the hands to go back to where they were. You'll feel the middle back pulled together in a very basic way, as if you're holding a pencil between the blades. Not a bad strength to accumulate here, just easier to find than what we had just done. Your palms flip down. Let them flip up. Pull your thumbs back while the arms rise over your head. There comes that shoulder blade spread yet again. You pull your thumbs back. Then you face the top of your mat. Take on your first swan dive, so really let your arms take over. Your chest simply ducks forward, your fingers spread out. Knees can be bent, but the thighs still lie while you drape your torso down. Roll through flat back. And then practice what you just did. Find your first plank pose that's more traditional with the hands on the floor. Soften your knees. Walk one foot back than the other. So you feel that you can pull your shoulders up into their sockets, into your back, but then there's this skilled spread apart, somewhat tricky to find here. See if you can get it, and let your belly, let your rib cage especially avoid the floor. Then work from your head, let that drop down. The spread of your back that has already been discussed gets bigger as you shove the floor down and lift your back up. Look at your legs as your hips slowly shift up and into place. Let there be a pointiness when you hit your first downward dog. Pull your shoulders, your armpits down towards the floor. Then more fluidly recreate that. Lift your heels up. When that happens, your legs feel longer. There's a greater depth of rise in your belly. So there's this massive separation between your torso and your thighs. Tuck your chin in so that you're looking back. Begin a feeling of a cat shape as your low back rises. You feel like your legs, your belly are coming for you. Your ribs corset up. Your middle back rounds, your head stays down. And then to let this plank feel more streamlined, use the ends of your body. Push your heels back. Draw the backs of your ears forward. With your arms bordering your body so they don't abandon your sidelines, you lower all the way down to your stomach. There's just a moment of flat relief here. Push your toenails down. Make space across your front as you roll your shoulders back for your first cobra. Then allow your chin to tap down. Push yourself up and back through a child's pose. And then tuck the toes, let your head hang heavy as you slowly move yourself up into a downward dog. 2 more like that. Lift your heels, tuck your chin, watch your legs come for you as you round your way into a plank. You keep the head down as you reach the height of the shoulders so your weight is over your wrists, and then you choose to distribute it. As you push your heels back, the top of your head forward, you lower all the way down, your arms act like borders for your torso. As soon as you hit, push into the toenails, roll your chest open for cobra. Tap your chin, your chest down, push through, just a quick child's pose. Then activate your feet, tuck your toes, you're looking back as you go to downward dog. Your heels lift. Belly pulls in and up while you roll forward. You trust yourself to put your weight over your wrists. You streamline yourself as your heels go back. The top of your head goes forward. You lower all the way down. Your arms stay trusty beside you as you push into your toes, and then you expose your chest. Shoulders roll up and off the floor. Tap your chin down, push yourself through child's pose. Tuck your toes, let your belly rise as you take your downward dog. Your right leg slowly rises. Point your toes as your hip crease exposes, and then bend your knees so the body is stacked. Find somewhat of a rewind through that as your hip drops square into place. Then use a very big inspiration from your rolling plank to bring your right knee into your chest. At the final moment, look forward to step your foot between your hands. And then immediately let the back knee drop. Let's keep the toes tucked. Let your palms stick out to the sides. Roll your chest open so that the arms touch the side walls before they rise up above your head, finding a low controlled lunge. And then behave like you're swan diving as your arms reach out, backtracking the way that they came in. Your head falls with this trustiness. Your back gets strong and round. Just let your fingers graze the floor. Your arms hang with gravity while the back knee squeezes. You might adjust those toes while you roll up to crescent lunge. There's a permission in your body. When the left knee softens, the left hip looks forward, then the palms spill open, then everything gets bigger as you reach wide and you reach up. Fine-tuning, some refinement happens as your thumbs go back, your shoulders go down. Perhaps you're tempted to straighten the left knee. Let your palms face the room in front of you to solidify the standing feeling of a plank pose. Let's let the hands brush out in front of us. The fingertips point to the ceiling, so there's this dramatic wrist bend. And then there's your practice. Let your shoulders go back. perhaps that skillful shoulder blade spread. And then from here, act like you're pushing somebody off you. Let your belly go into your body as you start to jut and push your hands forward. But then from this strong, sturdy place, let it become fluid as the left hand hits the floor. Get more relaxed in these right fingers as your hand sweeps towards the mat. You make this very beautiful half circle into a twist. Your hand reaches back just before it reaches up. Another example of the shoulder blades hauling together. My left hip, the straight leg, is very powerfully moving forward. So the thighs are essentially scissored here. Then this top hand, this right hand, has the say in the posture and the transition as you reach up. But then you're not afraid to use your neck and your head as you look down. Your right arm does this little airplane fly out to the side just before you let the head hang, the guts lift. Both hands are on the mat when you push the floor away. Take your right knee up. But then your back track is strong as the hip quietly opens at the top. And your foot lands down. Instead of going through the flow of cobra between sides, let's stick it to an even greater heat than that. Find a decelerated cat flow. Lift your heels up. The strength isn't a whole lot different, but the leg position is different. Let your knees bend. Look at those knees so as they slowly, strongly descend, your belly ascends. You find that you land in this very muscular cat shape. The shins are still lively, the knees barely tap the floor, and then you backtrack. Lift them up. Your guts rise. There's this reintegration of torso to legs. Your sit bones stick up. Do one more. Lift your heels. Tuck your chin. You can watch your knees slowly, skillfully descend to your mat. Your toes are still tucked when you land in cat. Then look for the space under the legs as your knees lift. You watch the body strongly ascend. And then you waste no time. Point the left toes while your leg rises. There's a purposeful turn out. And then there's some slack when your knee bends. Then you find yourself working over that square system. Click the hip into place. Pull your knee to your chest. Walk your foot between your hands. The back knee drops, but your toes stay tucked. Begin with your hands as they hover. Thumbs point out. Reach out to the side. This horizontal reach just before you reach all the way up. A low lunge on this side of the body. Wide arms, wide chest as you swan dive over the bent leg. You allow your head to hang. Gravity takes the weight of your arms, and then you muscle the back knee off the floor. The permissiveness of this side is a bend in the right knee. Stick the right hip forward, then you spread your hands. Reach wide, reach high. The finer things are the pullback of your thumbs, the skillful fall down of the lower shoulder blades, the squeeze and straightening of the back leg. Then from your crescent lunge, take a variation. Let your hands face the front. Act like you're pushing a wall away as your hands come out to your very own chest height. Fingers are spread. Shoulders find their home in your body. Belly is lifted and engaged as the right hip stares forward. It's an act of pushing, almost this defensiveness, as your hands, your heart go forward. Your left hip sucks back, so you're lengthy, you're pushing away. You use the tension of the room. Then right hand hits very statue-like. The left hand gets fluid as it paintbrushes back. you reach back, and you find a twist where the hand is up overhead. Left shoulder is rolled behind you in this twist. Your fingers spread, your arm rises. This hand is what initiates the movement. Reach it up. Then allow yourself to round as you look down. Your fingers reach out wide. The hand comes into place. Your head drops even heavier. Pull your belly up so that you can shift your foot up. Back your way out. Open your hip for that polish at the top. Land your foot down. Two decelerated cat poses. Lift your heels. Your belly is drawn into place. Look back so there's this concern with your head and your eyes while the knees decelerate their way down. Middle back is hugely responsible when those knees touch. Then waste no time, pick them back up. Your body acts like this elevator working through its floors to hit the height to the point of your down dog. One more time, heels purposely up. Knees bend while you watch them descend. Knees poke up. Body slips skillfully up and into place. Look to the top of your mat, step your feet forward. Flat back as soon as you're there. Fold your body down. Then reach your arms out wide. Bring yourself up. Leave those arms at their T shape here. The torso follows through. And then make your plank hands, bring them out in front of your chest. And find that time to push the room away, to take your shoulders responsibly in and back. Like you want this new resistance outside of your body, you push the sides of the room away. Then flip the palms up, drag your thumbs back, reach your arms up above your head. Shift your gaze up as you bring the right knee off the floor. But then let several tensions exist within you here. The inseam of the left thigh is especially lifted, so the distance from your left knee to your pubic bone. The outseam of the right thigh is really pulled back from right outer knee to right outer hip. And keep a steady stare as you bring your arms down as you replace that right foot to the mat. Then more fluidly, this is cloud breath as your arms stretch out. The left knee comes up off the floor. Your foot is spread as if you're standing the foot on a stool or on something. Refinement is right inner thigh up, left inner thigh back. Return your foot. And then alternate. As soon as you're permitted to drop that left foot, raise the right one. More heat happens as your hands go up, but your rib cage goes down. Return the foot carefully as if you don't want to disturb the mat, the floor. Left side. And keep moving, right side. The next time the right leg comes up, we'll keep it there. And take a twist from your feet. Hang on to your knee using your left hand. So there's this diagonal cross in your body. As hard as you can, ground the left shoulder in, the right hip back. That will feel awkward. But then from this narrow, very dense space, add space in by spreading the right fingers and stretching them up. Your gaze might stick exactly where it is, or it might follow the right hand as it starts to pull back. It stays at shoulder height. Part of what holds you here is the dramatic rise up of your left inner thigh. And that already well-known pull back of the left shoulder. Make your way back through center. Right hand into the air. Might not look difficult, but this is hard to hold. Left hand rises up to join. So that you let the whole thing feel complete. This is where you started. And then end it with a mountain pose. Don't wait to let the left foot come off the floor. Right hand takes the grip, so there's a diagonal within you. There's a lesson in pulling the left hip back, the right shoulder back. Your eyes might stay on their current focus, or they might follow the left hand as it reaches back. You trust your base leg, the right inner thigh to lift, the right shoulder to go back, almost like it's performing a plank. Maybe even a bit of that spirit of your cobra, your little back bend. This ability to open in a tight space. Reach your way back up. Look forward. If you've shifted your eyes, let the right arm join. And then, like the mat is fragile, come back down. Both arms reach out wide, your body bursts up into this extended mountain. Your chest goes forward as your arms reach out, your body dives down, forward fold. Roll the flat back. Step your left foot back, and then from here push up through that heel. You can drop your gaze while your shoulders hang and you roll up. The left hip identifies the front of the room, your hands open, your arms rise. If the shoulder mobility is there based on your heat, your work, you can prayer the hands above your head. In that case, in either case, hands together or parted, try to work your left ribcage forward. Warrior two. In your yoga practice, there are no weights, no apparatus, so you have to use imagination and just personal tension of muscle to bone. Feel the absolute directions in your warrior two as the sides of your torso lift up, but your shoulders push down. Exit with a long body. Your legs stay statued in place. Reach your right hand forward. Find an extended side angle. Right hand to the inside of your front foot. Left arm makes this continuity, this circle over your ear. You stretch your fingers away so that you experience the whole length and reach of the left body, but then you curve it, you cat it as you look down. Left heel unplugs, left hand lands. Push the right knee up to the ceiling. Adjust your handprints. And land your foot down. Look to the top of your mat, quietly step through to flat back. Left leg steps, front knee is soft. Hang your head as you slowly rise up. You present the right hip crease. Your hands follow as they open. They touch the side walls. They reach up, perhaps the palms touch together. After all of that heat, right rib cage is forward. That might encourage the left hip to translate back. Crescent lunge. Warrior two. Absolute tension as the feet go down. Your hands pressure out. Your shoulders act like a roof for the body as they press down. Your legs stay statued in shape. Your torso moves around your body for an extended side angle. There's a string tied to the left hand as it pulls the whole fabric of your body forward. The left hand down, right arm circles very long over the right ear. There's extra feedback from the right foot as your hand reaches. You're linear for a moment. And then you use cat pose to round the right spine, the right shoulder, plant your hand. On your way, right heel unplugs, left foot sweeps up. Hands will readjust. Allow your foot to land. So your last downward dog, take a few breaths here. Step to the top of the mat. Widen your stance, soften your knees, hold on to opposite elbows. Dangle your arms, slowly roll your way up. Keep your shoulders rolled in. Your head surfaces as your hands latch behind your back. Bend your elbows and then try rolling your shoulders back. Your feet dig into the floor, your hands come off your low back just slightly. Then bring the hands back down, fling them apart, and end in mountain pose.